Back again with another fishing video. For this vlog, this is my personal best crappie, which was 16¼ inches, all things said and done. Obviously, I'm not going to start with that one because in order to kind of put this pattern together, I spent a couple of days out on my local lake here in southern Iowa on the basin, trying to find crappie that were schooling or roaming through in order to target those fish. So this first one is just a small little crappie from the basin about a week prior to catching the personal best. So I'm kind of just essentially manually drilling a ton of holes out here and just trying to mark fish as I can. And if I stick the transducer down there and mark a fish, then I fish for it. If I don't mark anything, then generally I just leave the spot and try and find a hole with a fish somewhere else. But overall, this pattern worked pretty well. That first Friday I was out, and I was able to find some fish and catch quite a few little crappie. Nothing too crazy on this particular day. The weather was really, really warm, like unseasonably so. I think it was 57 degrees when I was fishing. You can tell the ice is not looking in the best shape. No need to worry. There is 8 inches of ice, so plenty of ice to be on, however you want to consider it. When it's weak like that, about half its strength. So technically I was on only about 4 inches of ice as opposed to 8. So interestingly enough, these days I caught a lot of crappie, but then I also caught a couple of catfish, which you'll see here later, which I don't know as much about the catfish roaming the basin of lakes, but it kind of makes for an interesting mix of fish as you go along. Now, these crappie are really pretty cool. If you notice, a lot of the crappie that I'm catching are white crappie versus black crappie, and I think that, and I don't have any data to verify this, but I just think based on my experience that white crappie have a higher tendency to roam and be a pelagic fish. And I think I talked about that in my other video too, but like I'm catching 6 or 7 white crappie to 1 black crappie here in the basin. In this particular clip, you see a little catfish that I catch out in the basin, which is kind of a nice surprise and an interesting way to shake things up, especially considering that most of the crappie I'm catching are not that big. So it makes for kind of a cool change of pace and a pretty good fight, especially through the ice. No one's going to complain about a fun fish to catch through the ice. I was kind of regretting not keeping fish after catching that catfish, though, because I probably would have had enough for a meal, but it's okay. Sometimes it's good to give back to the lake and kind of let the lake know that you appreciate what it's offering to you every now and then. We kept a lot of crappie this fall because the crappie were hitting really well in the late fall before ice up, and yeah, it's pretty cool. This little guy, I don't know what his deal was. He was having some struggles there, but I don't know if it was shock or if he just got cold quick, but he got going pretty fast once I flipped him around back in the hole. So again, some of these videos, it's tough to see the transducer, so I made an effort the next day that I came out to kind of try and lean over with the chest mount and show what's going on with the transducer and with the flasher system while these fish are down there and what I'm dropping down to with these fish. And I don't normally do, I usually do a kind of a commentary on my vlog for fishing, but I'll just do the live audio for the personal best because it makes it a lot more interesting and you can hear me kind of be crazy for a minute. In this clip, I've got my second catfish. I was really hoping it was kind of maybe a really big crappie or a walleye because of the time of day. I mean, it was right at sunset. There's literally 10 minutes of light left in the day. But unfortunately, another catfish. Well, not unfortunately, because still fun to catch, just not exactly what I was targeting. The reason I'm sharing this video is you can kind of see what's going on the flasher there. There's a mark that I'm marking and fishing. And it's really interesting at this time of night, because this has happened to me about 3 times now that I've been out in the evenings, where the fish will be down there. You'll mark them, you'll drop down to them, you can get them to move around and follow your bait, but they just will not commit and they will not eat once that sun has set. And it's really interesting that I just cannot get these fish to bite, and maybe there's a trick that I'm missing out on. I don't know. So here's the next day that Dad and I went out together about a week later, kind of fishing the same spots, roaming around in the basin, trying to find crappie that are suspended. Again, here's another little white crappie for the first fish of the day. Again, just walking around, poking holes, and dropping down to fish that are suspended that I see on my graph. So you can kind of see on the flasher here where there's one suspended up in the water column. So I try and drop the lure down to right above where that fish is suspended. So then I'm literally jigging right above the fish, because the fish like to eat up. It doesn't really make sense if you jig right on the fish, because in a predator-prey scenario, the prey is going to try and get away from the fish. So you got to kind of tease the fish up into biting, and then that way that fish can come up and be a predator and actively engage in eating that prey, which is essentially your lure. So got that one on the flasher, which is good because then it kind of illustrates what I'm trying to do. Just a nice little black crappie here. Again, not very common catching the black crappie. Now, I did find some brush in the basin, but I never was able to really catch any fish off of it. All the ones that I found were active, roaming around, and suspended. So here's another example. I'm kind of bent over awkwardly so you can see the flasher and see me jigging above the fish, and boom, as soon as it got down to it, he smoked it. And this is actually, other than my PB that you'll see here in a minute, this is actually probably the best crappie I caught out of the basin on diamond. Now, he is not a giant by any means, but, 9 to 10 inch crappie out of this lake is pretty good. So just a quick little unhook and walk over, show it to Dad quick, and release it. They're there if I can get down to them in time before they swim off. Whew, that one came in out of nowhere, super hot. Come on. Oh, there he is. This is a better one too. He's pulling some drag. It might be a catfish. I don't know what it is. It's big though. Oh boy. I don't know what, this might be a bass. I'm not really sure. You want to come take this transducer out quick? Like quickly? It's a kitty.
Oh, it's a kitty.
Yeah, big one. No, it's not.
It's a crappie. It's a huge.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh, oh my god! Oh! Look at that thing. Oh my God. We're gonna have to get a bunch of pictures of this one.
You don't have a measure on you, imagine?
I don't. We can put him on the ice by the pole.
Closer.
Give me a couple like this too.
Okay, you want one?
No, just straight is fine.
Okay.
Try a couple with flash. How are these turning out though? Pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, the background, kind of the sun.
See, you're a little too close on some of these.
Okay.
Oh my God, this is the biggest crappie I've ever seen. Hold on, I had deer eyes, I think.
Okay, look at, ready?
One more.
Okay.
What a giant. Here.
Dang it, I wish you would have that.
It's all on camera.
Oh, really? Cool.
It's all on camera. The tape measure, you mean?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I wish you No, when you said catfish and I seen that mouth, it's like, that is not a catfish.
It was white. Okay, so the tail's at the very end. The nose is even with this. Almost even with that. So that's going to be a good measurement. He about didn't fit through the hole. Okay, buddy. Time to go home.
So we got to be close to the ground.
Oh my God. No, he was just roaming.
Was he?
He was just roaming. Came in like a bat out of hell and just smacked that.
You
What?
put that on there, just your little teardrop thing?
Just a spoon.
Spoon?
Oh my God. That was bonkers. So after letting that fish go and realizing that it was a pretty cool experience to share with my dad, he said he's been chasing a crappie like that for 30 years, and ironically enough, it's about the same for me. But an important note is fish that big you have to put back. Keeping those huge genetics in the water is essential for the health of the body of water that you're fishing. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. I've got more ice fishing videos coming your way.